I thought I'd just premise this with just a notation. This presentation is nothing new. We're setting up IB evaluation in such a way that it's a smooth and clear process. So what I'm going to show you is lots of documents with thousands of words. Please don't think, oh my gosh, it's just too big and too stressful. It won't be. I can assure you now. Things are just in place to build upon what we already have. So before I go further, we can just relax. We're doing well. We're doing really well. So, a little overview before we get started. I'll start looking at what is IB evaluation, reflecting and refreshing our minds of what it actually is. And then I'll just take a little bit of a sidebar on the role and purpose of the learner profile. Oftentimes schools will lose their way with the learner profile, and we're one of those schools who lost our way in many ways with the learner profile, so we're looking at how we sort of come back to that. And then what we've completed thus far, I'll take a little sidebar, online tools that help broaden our MYP community and help deepen our understanding of what it is to be an MYP teacher. And then we'll look at the background evaluation work that is happening, and then from there we'll look at what we need to do in the future to prepare for the final documentation that is sent off. And LCB will leave us with a little provocation to think of in terms of our week 2 term 4 pedagogical workshop. So, to start us off, and I'll use my notes a bit today if you don't mind, so I might be looking down a couple of times, just so I don't forget anything. I tend to get a bit distracted at times. So evaluation, it is first and foremost a reflection and feedback tool for an IB World school. From the IB's perspective, they want to make sure that any school that has the IB World school logo attached to it, or that sort of authorization, that we're not just an IB school in name, we're an IB school in practice. And evaluation is simply a tool of measurement to make sure that we are fulfilling what is required of us. And it really is not a difficult or not a negative process. It is designed for feedback and celebrations of how we're tracking, and we're tracking well. So the fundamental tenet of an IB education is that of international mindedness. And our purpose through rigorous, inquiry-based and concept-driven curriculum is to develop internationally minded students. That is the fundamental element of an IB school. It is the foundation from which we work upon for all different areas of our learning and different areas of our subjects, classroom, discipline practices, the whole aspect. So before I launch into the operational aspects of the evaluation, we'll just look at the learner profile, because the learner profile is fundamentally how we achieve international education, and it's how we develop international mindedness. So for example, if we have students in Darwin who are striving to be these 10 elements of the learner profile, then we have students in Yangon or Osaka, Missouri, Alaska, wherever, who are striving to be those 10 attributes, we will actually have developed a global community of children and adults who are internationally minded, who can use these attributes to develop a better and more peaceful world. So once again, living out that IB mission statement. The learner profile is how we do that. Does that make sense? Yeah. So that was explained to me, it sort of just made so much more sense. This is actually what international mindedness is. There is flags, there is cultural events, there is language, all these different aspects. However, this is fundamentally how we develop international mindedness at Good Shepherd. Because this is such a fundamental and important element of an IB World school, that's why we ask you to have them in your classrooms as visuals or posters of the learner profile attributes. And so like we're very intentional and visible with our inquiry cycle, so we tell children, today our learning intention is to go from sorting out to making conclusions, or going back to tuning in to re-establish a concept, or we're going to stay reflecting, or we're going to stay going further because I've had some classroom discussions and formative feedback. We're not quite ready to take action. So we use that very visible element, likewise with the learner profile. So it could be, well done, Joanne, you've been really balanced today. You've been really caring to share your work, or, well done, Goten. That was a great risk you took in your learning, but let's not make a risk that could cause physical harm. But we use it everywhere. So it's not just inside the classroom, it's outside the classroom. So when they're tackling this issue on the field, that's being principled, it's being caring. So we use that language in all our interactions. At our schools, so our year level coordinators and house coordinators and relax are key operators in developing your understanding as well as our students' understanding. So please make sure that we're much more visible in how we use that learner profile aspect, because it helps us achieve the fundamental purpose of IB education. Yeah. So off that sidebar, we'll just come back to examine where we And within this self-study, we do standards and practices. So, use that later. We start with standard A, that's our philosophy. And so looking at these schools' educational beliefs and values reflect the IB philosophy. We then move down to standard B, which is our leadership and structure. It's broken into two components, then B1 is leadership and structure, B2 resources and support. That's very much the operational aspect. Standard A is very much the philosophy, B, operational. And standard C is the curriculum. We should all be very familiar with this by now from our learning area action plans we've completed. And this is what you as IB educators will be really focusing on over the next 9 months and continuing on beyond it, because it's just a part of what we do as an IB school. Within each of these standards, there are practices. So, the standard is very much the why. The practice is the what. And then when we come to the individual action plans, that is the how. Okay, so it goes down to little steps of why, what, and how. This is our whole school action plan. It's a huge document that sort of sits in the background of everything. It's 54 A3 pages. It's massive, but it just sits in the background for section A, section B, and section C, and draws upon just to document what we're actually doing as a school to make sure that we're providing evidence and feedback. Yes, we're addressing the why and the what of the IB programs as and practices. And also at a subject level, we all have that at a subject base as well. Does that make sense, the A, B, and C? Yep. So section A is very much what Rachel and Elsie and Jeff will look at in terms of philosophy and the heads of school. Section B is very much what staffing, Anna will look at in terms of library. Rachel very much oversees all of those components there. And section C is very much driven by your learning area coordinators. They drive much of that in the college as well. So just to provide some clarification there. So, moving on from there. So far we have completed the self-study independently. We did that in the chapel using SurveyMonkey just to refresh ourselves of what the standards and practices are, and also to give me an idea of clarifying some confusions or some misunderstandings. And from that we discovered what we already knew, we just had some sort of data to back it up, was that we needed to work on how we understand the notion of cross-disciplinary learning. Therefore we've run the workshops with you all. We need to work on ATLs, and so we've begun to look at how we can help us understand the ATL section. We're sending Anna Seidel, which she is, Anna's heading off to Thailand next weekend to go to a Category 3 ATL workshop, and so she can continue to grow the library as an ATL hub at a school. And Darren, in his role as Director of Positive Education, is going to look at how we can draw the effective skills and that social emotional learning into all elements of our classrooms, but also that wellbeing subject for 2017. And also as a result, we've discovered that service and action, we're not quite where we thought we would like to be by now. So we're going to run, to kick off our week 0 collaborative planning reflection. Next year we'll kick off with the service and action pedagogical workshop, so we can begin to really implement it in that last part of our inquiry cycle especially. So we have used that data to help us. So an action for us all to take, our responsibility, is just to make sure that we continue to grow as that intellectual leader, that collaborative and reflective practitioner, which is such an important part of being a teacher in general. And also just to make sure if you haven't read MYP from Principles into Practice or your subject guide, please do so. It is a professional responsibility that we all have working in an IB school, and it is central to our job as teachers. We had our consultative feedback with Sean Rankin a couple of years ago, and the number one element he fed back to us was that there's some great things happening, but there is a lack of knowledge in terms of what is in the subject guides across the board. And so please make sure you have read your documentation. It is very, very important part of our role as IB educators. So, and on that, just taking a little sidebar, we'll look at just the various online forums that can really help us as IB educators, so that's us. The OCC has an incredible wealth of knowledge. We all have OCC logins. If you've lost it, I've saved it into a folder in our curriculum drive and an MYP folder, so you can access your login and your password should you have lost it. There's multiple forums in the 3 working languages of the IB, so English, French, and Spanish. questions you have, the OCC forum can help you. We also have a whole section of Google sections that you can actually draw into. These are awesome. They're made by MYP teachers for MYP teachers. I've regularly dropped on and gone, I don't know what this means, can someone please help me? Within a day I've got 5 Skype addresses saying, just let me know when you're ready to Skype and I can walk you through how we've addressed this issue. Our design faculty were able to link with the school in Amsterdam and to really help us understand how we use process journals, which is a real strength for us. Our language acquisition action research team, the first of 3 that we're developing through this community, have been able to link with the school in India, who also teaches French and Japanese. So we can sort of grab some real strength from other schools, and they have the same struggles that we have, so we can help and support each other in that way. Another one is Facebook, and so you can see here, I think Shooter and Cookie are already on the Facebook page here. There's a wealth of MYP pages that you can just join, groups that you can join, and there's just oodles and oodles of resources shared, unit planners shared, assessment task sheets, questions asked, there's just so much out there we can draw upon. And lastly, for those who like Twitter, there's a really large variety of resources on Twitter. So for both the PYP, MYP and DP, and also all your NTCET subjects as well. All you simply do is hashtag IBMYP search or just your subject name, and you'll come up with a long stream of other people across the world who are willing to ask questions or pop up their resources. It is a really valuable tool, and they're quick and fast and on your phones, which makes it really, really easy for us. So, to come back off that sidebar, we'll just look in each of our learning areas. We've completed our self-study. So you would have remembered it was a Thursday afternoon, I think I was away that day, but every subject was sort of in their rooms, beginning to assess ourselves against each standard of practice. And from here we've created action plans. We've seen that in some areas we were sort of lacking, and we began to look how we can put that into an action plan. And the action plans are often quite large documents with very significant actions that need to be taken. And to make this achievable, we've used that SMART goals organizer and put that into our faculty operational plan. So, for example, this is language acquisition. They're quite large actions there. And it's then broken down to quite a large action plan that is very much seen as a 5-year plan for some of us. So for some of us, it was a matter of developing, what's one that I can think of, bringing the learner profile into the different assessment tasks as well. That's quite a big journey. So that's a 2-year journey that we need to modify and develop our assessment tasks. Whereas putting the learner profile into our lessons is a simple action that one person can take by making sure that they're open to classrooms for all our members of our faculty, and we can begin to use it in our lessons. So the idea is we took this big action and we put it into small, achievable chunks that we just begin to work at gradually. So for example, here this is a design, I think. It's a design, so Arthur's taking the responsibility to every meeting, he'll address the learner profile. Carolyn Day, who is now replaced with James, looking at the global context, so making sure that every design classroom has the global context on the wall for that visible learning. Trisha's looking at models for helping students understand big ideas. So her job is to find, by the end of the year, 4 models that she can share with the design faculty. Really small, bite-sized chunks that all together build to make something wonderful. So that's what we're doing now. So our responsibility is to make sure we continue to work together to build up those different actions, and working alongside your learning area coordinator and your team members to find that, to make sure we achieve those goals. If you don't know where they are, they're on our MYP subject folder. From MYP you go to learning area self-studies, they're all in there. So everyone can see every subject self-study, it's all there for you. So, moving on from that, part of the process for evaluation is that of collecting evidence. So every assessment we give ourselves must be backed up with evidence. So for example, if I'm looking in section C.3.1a, I think it is, or B, that says that we use the global context for all our lessons, for all our planning, we need to show in our unit planners firstly on sector that we have the global context, we've developed an area of exploration, and we've included it, it's woven throughout our learning experiences. So making sure that with every number we give ourselves, if we give ourselves a medium high or a high, we actually have evidence to back it up. So once again, nothing new, it's just building on what's already there. Before you start giving away any student work or giving back student work, can you please just chat to your linear coordinator because they have a list of assessment tasks they need to be collecting. So we can begin to build selection of assessment tasks for the evaluation team. The reason why we are starting now is to make sure we have a really clear, smooth process next year. I don't want us to get to week 4 of term 2 and be running around trying to find bits and pieces. If we just start now, we can make evaluation a peaceful and relatively stress-free process. So please, this is why we're starting now. It's just to alleviate any pain that could happen next year. So please, just bear that in mind when you're handing back student work and making sure that you develop your unit planners to be very thorough documents. That is very, very important. So, in background, that's your responsibility. Make sure that you have your unit planners documented because it's very important that they are very thorough there as well. In the background, our CLC teams, that's Elsaby, Julie, Marie, and the MYP coordinators, we are beginning to develop all the responses to the actual self-study. So for example, section C1.A looks at the mission statement, and so therefore it asks us, what is our mission statement, how does it align with the IB, what changes have we made? So right now, we're beginning to add those different documents together, so we'll call on Ben, Andrew, and Rachel to share with us why they decided to modify the statement that we have as our school, then pop that into our self-study and gather the evidence. So each week in the background, we're beginning to build up the reservoir of evaluation documents. And it might seem like a big process, but once this is in place, it's just in place for the next 5 years. And it just rolls on. The IB will then have what's called a My School, and it becomes all online. So it's like a consistent process of evaluation that just occurs as we travel along as a school. And now it's just a matter of building it, bringing it all together. And so just finally, just to communicate with you what the end result looks like. What we do on June 13th, 2017, we send away all our self-studies and our evidence. So we'll send away our large self-study to the IB. This is a whole school, looks at section A, and then standard, section B, section A and B, and section C. We then send off every subject self-study or section C as well. So what will happen is that you as a faculty will sit down, what you've already put together as your self-study, you'll begin to reflect and say, right, have we actually achieved this goal, or are we working towards this goal? And you begin to articulate in your final self-study. Your LAC will then bring, so you will all be able to say, you'll all have input into this, so no one will be isolated or left out of this process. Everyone gets to have their piece shared, which is a really positive approach, I think. And then your LAC will come and meet with myself and Elsaby and Rachel, and they will simply sign off on that standard C, and that will be sent off to the IB with our collection of evidence. That includes assessment tasks that have been marked and given feedback on in our unit planners, as well as our 5 community projects and 5 personal projects. So, that's what we do next year. Once again, like I said, it's not, I read a blog post recently that said there was a school who removed the word for evaluation completely. I keep finding myself saying it, but it really isn't for evaluation. It's just what we already do as a school. It's just basically taking a snapshot of how we're travelling. It's what we're doing already, and it's just making sure that that is in line with the IB program sense and practices. So please don't be overwhelmed. It should be a really clear, smooth process. Next year we'll begin to look at the evaluation visit itself. We'll run another workshop with you all to see what we can expect. But I'm just going to leave you with a series of questions. So a school, I think the school's in Alaska, if I'm guessing it right. Their MYP coordinator actually followed the evaluation team and documented all the questions they were asking the students, teachers, board, all that were involved. They began to ask the same questions. So this is what the evaluation team could be asking your students in your class. So as they do walkthroughs, they could be asking how the global context utilised in your lessons. And a way that you can help your kids know that is by putting up on the wall, just use an A3 piece of paper, the global context and the area of exploration. Making sure that as we start a unit, we walk students through the global context, and it's woven throughout our teaching practices. They'll ask the students to tell them about your service and action. How do you take action from your learning still know your statement of inquiry for all your subjects. So they really are asking those questions that are quite relevant to exactly what the MYP is asking us for teaching and learning. They'll ask, are the concepts and global context highlighted in all your subjects? Then they'll ask, what do you know of your personal project? So here's just 6 questions that I think we can ponder and think, what will the students in my class right now receive? How will they respond to these questions? And it's just time for us to be a bit more visible perhaps in how we address these different elements in our subjects. So lastly, once again, it should be a really clear process. Just keeping that constant communication with your area coordinator. Make sure that you're collecting evidence as subject groups. Making sure that your unit planners are fleshed out. They're not just in each section. They have a clear inquiry cycle with what you're teaching, how you're teaching, your differentiation, your formative assessment. So what we already do, we're just making sure it's happening across our college. So to conclude today, I'll hand it over to Elsie. So yeah, thank you. We're doing really, really well. We're very proud of ourselves. So thanks.
Yeah. So I'm going to show you. Laura's putting in a lot of hours of work, as you can see. What we'd like to show you now is, if you like, a provocation. If we start to use the terminology ourselves as staff, a provocation for an inquiry that we would like to do in a pedagogical workshop next term, which is about assessment. And to pick up again from that word that the junior school teachers use a lot with their kids, I wonder. So I wonder often what would happen if we were a bit more relaxed about our approach to assessment with our students, and we actually let things go a little bit with them and gave them an opportunity perhaps a little bit more to negotiate with us how they're going to demonstrate their learning to us. I wonder what would happen. I wonder what creativity might be released in our students. So that's something that we would like to start to think about and work on with you during next term as a focus, I guess, for the term, looking at assessment. So, we just look at the... I've got it back up.
It was a warm spring morning down at the Main Street schoolyard. Excitement was in the air. Hey, check this out, said Charlie. The school's Golden Places contest has been announced. Come on, let's go get our kits. And so the kits were handed out. Everyone identical, everyone with a set of precise instructions. Each student set off to work. Charlie knew how to follow directions. He made great progress and was quite proud of his work. Meanwhile, Maya was taking her time. She watched the world around her, noticing other ways things go places. The next morning, Charlie was finished and carefully inspected his work, but a noise interrupted his thoughts. Wow, said Charlie. What is that? You didn't follow the directions, did you? I started to, said Maya, but I wanted to try something different. Maya, what does that have to do with a go-kart? Asked Charlie. Who said it has to be a go-kart? Suddenly my project doesn't look very exciting. Oh, but you're a great builder, said Maya. Hey, maybe we should work together. And so they did. First, they compared notes. Charlie was good at details. Maya, good at dreaming up ideas. Each had a different approach to getting things done. Then they got to work. Side by side, they helped one another to build something new, something inspired, something spectacular. The next morning, everyone gathered for the final challenge, the big race. Each student stood alongside his or her finished project, each cart a perfect replica. Well, almost perfect. Ready? Asked Charlie. Ready as I'll ever be, said Maya. Some of the other students weren't so good. Ha! You may think you're going places, but you're just going to lose.
Students, start your reckoning. On your mark. Get set.
Charlie shouted. Maya, they're all ahead of us. What are we waiting for? No worries, said Maya. Flaps down, throttle up. What? Whoa, did you see that? And we have our winner. Charlie and Maya were ecstatic. We did it. We finished, said Charlie. Finished? I don't think so. We've only just begun. Right. Flaps down, throttle up. And off they went. They really were going places. They were going above and beyond.